Welcome back, everyone, to another Slab Stocks YouTube live stream here on Monday. I am gone right now in the North Woods of Wisconsin. Nate is still gone on his honeymoon, but we still got done alive today. It's an hour earlier now. We're 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I've got my guy Vincent on here with me. For any of you that have watched our show content from Miami or from the National, Vincent was at both those shows. Vincent's an intern of ours. He's been working with us now for, what is it, 9 months now? Just about that?
Just about. Mhm.
Just about 9 months now. And Vincent's actually the one who works a lot on SlabStoxPro and brings the daily newsletter to all the SlabStoxPro subscribers. So I have Vincent on today as we're going to walk through some stuff in the sports car marketplace, what's going up, maybe some stuff that's going down, and talk about the SlabStoxPro newsletter and how you all can get subscribed to it. So first off, welcome everyone. I know this is a different setting than normal, but excited to get after this, and a lot of good stuff to talk about. And Kevin, what's up? How are we doing? What better way to start the live stream than talking about last night's / this morning's sales? So through Robert Edward Auctions, we got the Honus Wagner T206. That's an SGC3. This card was actually at the National up for display, and it closed last night at $6,606,000. Obviously $296 on top of that too. That's an all-time high sports card sale. It broke the record for the $5.2 million PSA 9 mantle that sold to Rob G. It broke the record for the exquisite RPA number 23 BGS 9 that sold through LeBron. Sorry, that sold through PWCC. It was a LeBron card a couple months back. And now this one landed at 6.6. Vincent, did the rightful card take the crown again at the top of the sports card market?
I think so. I'm a big baseball guy, so I think baseball is king long term, especially with vintage stuff. So it was nice to see Hannes come back and take the title back, especially with some of these more speculative plays getting a lot of money. So I like it.
Right. Hey, how much does a Mantle PSA 10 52 top sell for? If it does come up for sale, there's only 3 in existence.
I don't even know. I think the last one was at the All-Star game, I think it was the All-Star game one showed up. I would think it'd get over 10. I don't know. It's so hard to price at 10, 15 at least.
Well, I think that the 9 is probably pushing 8 to 9
well, yeah,
now.
That's 8? True, because that's over 5 back in December. Yeah, that's true.
Probably, I was going to say Limestone says 20 million. I'd say that's where my guess would be, right around 20 million. There's only 3 PSA 10s in existence. I think that there's 6 to 8 PSA 9s somewhere in that range.
There's not a lot of them. Yeah.
No, so quite the crazy card here with the Wagner. The first one that went up for sale for a while, I believe, and an SGC3 landed at 6.6 million. Of course, there's a lot of history behind this card with a PSA 8 that's trimmed, which was previously owned by Wayne Gretzky, I'm pretty sure as well. So kind of, and just in general, the history of the card and why it's so scarce. Hannes Wagner, he demanded that the tobacco company stop making his cards because he never really gave him consent, I think, to print them in the first place. So what, didn't they all get dumped into a river or something? Is that the rumor? I can't remember.
I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. Yeah, I've heard that though.
I don't know either. Some more news from the weekend. So preseason football kicked off, and Justin Fields had a pretty good game. I think it's 150 yards, a touchdown, tons of completions, high completion percentage, and had a rushing touchdown as well. And someone went onto eBay and offered $3,050 on a gold standard sticker auto number 5. This was one of the craziest sales I think I've seen in the past year. I don't know how you feel, Vincent, but this seems like one of the biggest overpays I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, nice little preseason hype sale, I think, falls into that bucket for sure.
Yeah, but tons of Fields cards were moving. Like that day that he had the big preseason game, I just looked and there were so many autographs getting hit by it now, ending on auction, buying on best offer. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Jordan Love all made their debuts as well. I think Trey Lance went 5 for 17 or something. Had 120 yards and a touchdown, which is kind of an odd stat.
Yeah, one deep ball. Yeah.
Yeah, have to have one huge throw. And what Vincent from Card Hour says, hey, we got both Vincents in the house today. FOMO is a nasty beast, and I agree. That's super true. Fear of missing out. You can clearly tell that people are hopping on trying to get some Justin Fields when, in my opinion, there's not even really any cards of these guys that are investable out yet. There's no Prism, there's no Optic, there's no Select, there's no National Treasures, Immaculate College release, but that's not the main Immaculate set. There's no Contenders, there's no Optic Contenders. There's really no cards out there to buy for speculation for the future, because most of these cards that are selling right now are already going to drop in price as it is from now through the next 6 months.
Mm.
I don't know about your recommendation, Vincent, but I feel like, focusing in on last year's quarterbacks or 2 years ago seems to be the better play right now. With these, obviously the new guys getting tons of hype, Mac Jones as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you gotta wait for the main sets to come out for sure. These are nice cards, but yeah, like you said, FOMO is a bad piece. So
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so just a little bit of intro there. Now we're going to hop into the main section of today's podcast. We probably won't be live for too long today. I'm thinking maybe like 30 minutes, unless we got some nice questions coming towards the end. I'll hang out a little bit longer. But what I want to do is go to SlabStoxPro quick and show you all the newsletter, and then run over some cards that we're going to talk about today. Because Vincent, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling like a lot of these cards are starting to tick back up in price with soccer season returning, football season returning, basketball season, like free agency and summer league happening, which is now, I think, creating some hype for basketball. Baseball, like, Tatis is back and everything. Feels like a lot of hype is coming back to the market.
yeah, I really like it. I think, going through the morning and the trenders, it definitely is a lot better than it was a couple months ago. So
Yeah,
it's promising.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to share this right here. Vincent, can you see this?
Yep, all good.
All right, so right now we are looking at the SlabStoxPro newsletter that Vincent creates every morning. Vincent, talk us through what you do, and I'll scroll through here.
Yeah, sure. So newsletter, every daily slab comes out every day, usually around like noon, 1 o'clock. It's broken into 3 different sections. So, I mean, the first section, that's kind of a new thing just for today. We had to put that in there with the Hannes Wagner sale. But biggest 3 sections are the top trenders, top listings, and then new slabs being added to the database because we're adding them constantly daily. So top trenders basically broken into 2 sections, 1 week trenders and 1 month trenders. We have the cards with the graphs with the corresponding dates. Everything's linked to SlabStoxPro, so if you don't have an account already, it'll bring you there and you can sign up then, or if you do, bring it right there. Just quick write-up analysis and related eBay listings. So if that player is someone of interest to you, then we have other slabs being tracked by the database and their active eBay listings, so you can kind of get over there and if you're interested, take a look at them.
Awesome.
So I think
this was today's
this
was today's daily slab that Vincent sent out. Those are the top trenders. Here's the top listings, going over a few different listings ending through SlabStoxPro and through eBay. And then
like that Vladdy Gold.
Yeah,
super
I saw
nice.
That today. That's such a nice card. The Vlad Gold.
Yeah, no BGS 9.5 is sold. So PSA 9, I think, was the last one. Yeah, PSA 9. So I don't know what that goes for. I'll be interested to see tonight what it's ending soon, I think. Yeah, like an hour.
Why don't we just check it out?
Yeah, that's a big one. When I saw it this morning, I was excited.
Can you see that? Can you see the screen of the auction?
No, you're still on the MailChimp.
Oh, okay, got you. I want to see. I don't really know how to flip back and forth between tabs. Here, let me try. There we go. 1,825 with an hour left. So that's probably going to go well over the PSA 9 sale.
I would think PSA 9 sold like a month and a half ago too, or maybe a month ago. I forget.
Yeah, and obviously one of the best hitters this entire season. Best hitters in baseball right now.
And it's the true gold too. It's not the gold wave. That was the other thing when I was doing research on it. It's the gold wave is sold a bunch of times, or not a bunch, but a lot more than the true gold. So I'll be interested to see what that goes for.
Right. And if you all like what you're hearing from Vincent and want to get in on the action, so I just linked pro.slabstox.com/register. That's how you create an account on SlabStoxPro. I will show you right now on the screen share for those watching via YouTube. And you can create an account by clicking that link. That will get you the newsletter in the future. We are working right now on putting together our different audiences to get them onto that newsletter. So if you don't receive it within the next few days, hopefully you can receive it after that. But right now, create an account for SlabStoxPro. It's SlabStoxPro. It's 100% free. And now we're going to walk through the different cards in today's newsletter for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So Vincent starts off with his Aaron Judge here. This is on the dashboard of SlabStoxPro right now. If you go to pro.slabstox.com, you can see the exact cards we are looking at. You can see the ticker up at the top here showing the recent eBay listings that are ending. Red denotes that the card has dropped in value from the previous sale, and green denotes that it has gone up in price since the previous sale. But here we go, Aaron Judge. That's your guy, right? I mean, I don't know if he's actually good this year or not, but I guess you like him.
Oh yeah, that is my guy. I'm a big Yanks fan, so it's been an interesting couple of years with Judge and injuries and everything. But nah, I was glad. This is the first Judge card I think we've had in the newsletter because of this weekend. So it was nice to get him in there. Very turbulent and volatile, as you can see with his card prices. But um, yeah, awesome. It's his flagship rookie card, the Topps Chrome one. But uh,
So we're looking at a $71 value on August 8th, and now it's up to 110 after three sale auction yesterday. It's three sale
mhm.
average on the auctions yesterday. Talk to us about what he's done recently, and if you as a Yankees fan are excited about his future, and hopefully he doesn't get injured anymore.
I mean, yeah, it's always contingent on if he's on the IL or not. I mean, it seems like even this year with COVID, he landed on the COVID IL, wasn't hurt, didn't have symptoms, and was on COVID IL. So it's always like a wild card with him. But yeah, this weekend was a great series. They swept the White Sox earlier in the year in New York, and then they took 2 of 3 this weekend. With first one they actually lost, it was the Field of Dreams game, which was just so cool. Like as a baseball fan, like even with the Yankees losing, it was just so fun to watch. I thought it was awesome with like Kevin Costner, the entire broadcast and everything. It was amazing game. Yanks came back, took the lead in the ninth, and Britain blew it in the bottom of the inning. So it is what it is. But yeah, they had a big weekend. Judge had 2 home runs in the Field of Dreams game. He had another home run in the second game. I think he had like 9 or 10 RBIs the series. Like just crazy numbers. He had a bunch of clutch hits. He had one big hit in the 10th, I think, in the second game. So yeah, I mean, it seems like buyers are taking notice to that. I mean, as you can see, like from the graph, it's so up and down because he'll have one bad week, one great week. He's a very streaky hitter. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
this
look at
is
that. It's
crazy.
just,
This is crazy.
it's just
There's like
it's
multiple
insane.
peaks, multiple valleys on this card.
Yeah, but I think if you go to the 1 year chart, it actually looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, so he peaked a lot earlier, but it's on a downward trend now. But
And
in the
this,
short term,
I was just gonna say, this seems to be the preseason hype here for baseball, which
yeah,
I think is a good
yeah,
thing to look at.
100%. Yeah.
Like from October up until before he even played a game this season, this card rose that was at least double. That is actually quadruple in price. I went from like
Mm-hmm.
50 bucks to 200 some. So if you're investing in football and buying football, I know last week we had Dave on the show, and Dave was talking about how he's preparing to sell all of his football throughout these next 3 weeks. For this reason alone, most likely. Like you look at this
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, so I think quadruples in price and then it instantly falls a ton, even though Aaron Judge, I mean, he's had a very good season. Was he not an all-star starter, or at least an all-star in general?
Yeah, no, he's a starter, and he had a good like first half of the season. Obviously, he was hurt a little bit here and there, and then he landed on a COVID IL. But he had a really good first half, and I think someone was saying I saw like it's one of his worst first halves ever, but it's still a really good like first half statistically. So he's
Right.
been producing.
Right. So then also if you go over here and check out like the next card we'll look at, let's bounce to Drew Lock then because we're on the subject.
Yeah,
If you
he's a
look at
good
Drew
preseason
Lock,
hype guy.
yeah, like over the last month, this card's up 60.71%. And who can
Yeah,
remember all the Drew Lock hype from last year? Do you remember how expensive Drew Lock got going into Drew Lock got wait, Lock, not Lock, Drew Lock
Drew
got
Lock.
going
Yeah,
into in the last season.
yeah,
This
it was crazy.
seems to be like these types of cards are the ones you want to be buying for $56 in July, selling for 90 in August, not buying for 90 in August and selling for 60 in September or October. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about this right now. I don't know about how anyone else feels about football right now in the chat, but if you are listening and want to drop a comment in about the football card market, what you're seeing with quarterbacks and preseason hype, drop your thoughts and let us know if you're buying or selling football right now and what is your timeline, because if you are buying football right now, you better believe a lot in Drew Lock and what the Broncos can do. I mean, there's Teddy Bridgewater there also. It's been one preseason
Mm-hmm.
game so far. There's no saying that Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have an incredible next 3 weeks, and then Teddy's starting and Drew Lock's worth like $20 a base PSA 10, which is really the
Mm-hmm.
crazy thing about the market.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's an interesting card for sure. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
I know. I know. Dario, Drew Lock, a sell. I mean, just based off of seasonal trends and what happens with preseason and quarterbacks and everything, I don't know if you bought, football rookie quarterbacks or Drew Lock specifically at like half the price that's worth today. Seems like a sell to me and put that money into basketball.
Yep.
That's
Take
just how I
profits.
feel about it. But we are now here on Fernando Tatis Jr. His Series 2 PSA 10 just returned from injury last night, right, Vincent, if I'm not mistaken?
Oh yeah, with a bang too. It was pretty awesome to see him
Tell us
back.
about it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so first at bat, home run. I got the MLB notification, of course, because I know MLB loves Fernando Tatis. I love him too, but
Who
he's
doesn't?
very easily mark. Yeah, he's easy to market. He's just a beast. I mean, he's missed like a half, or no, he's missed a full month of the season, and he still leads the National League in home runs by like 6 home runs. Like just crazy. Like
That's insane.
it's yeah. And then I don't know if it was a second or third at bat. I didn't watch the game live, but he had another home run last night. So 2 home runs in his return. He started in the outfield for the first time, which is kind of interesting. I guess they're trying to like ease him back into play. Obviously, like probably playing shortstop is a more injury prone position than right field. Even though Aaron Judge is a beast, so right field is an important position. But yeah, it was awesome to see him back. First career game in the outfield, 2 home runs. His prices are going up a little bit. Everyone's excited that he's coming back. I mean, this is his flagship, super high pop card. So this card is also super, super volatile, both in the short term and kind of like the last 2 or 3 months. I remember looking, but yeah, people are excited to see him back, and I am too. So
Right, right, right. Okay. I'm sure Nate, I don't know if he's been paying attention to baseball, but I'm sure he'd be excited to see Tatis with this. And also, I want to point out the 3 month graph on Tatis. This is kind of like Aaron Judge, but even crazier. Like you get
yeah,
those
it's
days.
performance based too. Like you could probably go back to the day and like I bet one of those spikes is a 2 home run night. Another spike is probably like a 6 RBI night. Like it's just crazy. Like uh, the short term buys for some people. But I
Right.
mean, they are sales, and it is what it is. So
Yeah. And since January, I mean, this card's down 23%. And the interesting thing is here is like this didn't actually go through like it did go through, I guess, quite a crazy rise. 230 to 340 is pretty substantial. But it was always just super up and down. And I guess that's what happens when
yeah,
you get some of these high supply cards. It just creates for some really, really, big movements. It's because he's not a good shortstop, not injury. So
he
does that
does
mean
have a
he's
lot of
never going back
errors.
to shortstop? Yeah, no, he does. He makes some nice plays, but he also blows a lot of
Yeah,
throws, I'm sure.
he's young though. I mean, a lot of young. I mean, Jeter made a ton of errors when he was younger, and I mean, I'm not saying he was the best defensive shortstop, but he had a pretty good career. So at shortstop.
I traded my Tatis Junior Sepia PSA 10 for 2011 Bowman Chrome draft Mike Trout at the National. Mistake. Trout is a PSA 9. I don't know the value of the Tatis at all, but I think we probably have the Mike Trout PSA
Which one
9
is that?
Bowman Chrome draft, the Tatis Sepia or Sepia PSA 10. I just don't know what the value is on that card, but the Trout PSA 9 seems to be last day we've got
Down.
booked here is July 30th for 515. Now, the thing about Trout is that you're trading in at a suppressed value because of his injury. He's still injured, isn't he?
Trout, yeah, he's still on the IL. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if when he's coming back or if he. I mean, the Angels have kind of played themselves out of the wild card at this point. They could make a run, but I don't know if they're going to rush him back really because
right.
really not in the running. So
No, I feel you. I feel you. All right. Next up, we can talk about is soccer. The Premier League returned this
Pulisic.
weekend. Finally, the EPL is back. La Liga is back. Bundesliga is back. League One when France started 2 weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
this weekend was super fun. There's 20 matches in the Premier League, and there were 10 wins. There were no draws at all, which is pretty crazy to see. 10 straight out wins. 10 clubs got 3 points. One of them being Chelsea here. Chelsea won 3-0. And Vincent, walk us through what's going on Pulisic after that game.
Yeah, real quick, Aaron. Someone put his Tatisa goodbye. I think. I mean, you always want to talk about like the low numbered, lower pop, right? So, like we saw with the paper, high pop, very volatile, but his numbered stuff and like refractors definitely trending upward. And when he plays well, obviously when he gets hurt, not. But
Yeah, I
um,
agree. And I think that a lot of the thing with people who either don't buy Tatis or don't want to own Tatis is that he might get injured too much.
yeah,
But you also see
mm-hmm.
people that, are picking up Bowman Chrome Gold Autos PSA 1010. I just saw on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram today, I think Exquisite Sports Collectibles, can't remember his exact name, just picked up at the National, like a huge card. So people are still out there projecting great things for Tatis into the future. Another
Mm-hmm.
guy that people are projecting great things for into the World Cup next summer for USA is Pulisic, and here's his 2019 Prism EPL
Mm-hmm.
base, technically his first Prism card, other than his Prism, Road to the World Cup autograph sticker he had. But Vincent, what's going on?
Yeah, so up over the past month, was in the newsletter this morning. Obviously, he scored a goal this weekend for Chelsea. I think Chelsea won, was it 3-0? Pretty
Yep.
easy win. So yeah, he had that really cool. Did you see the celebration afterwards with his like forearm and the tiger, eye of the tiger thing? Did you see that?
No, I was watching my phone, so it was kind of hard to track, especially with some bad signal. So
Oh, it's so cool. I'll have to send you the picture for it. He got like a tiger face like tattooed on his forearm and he holds it up and it looks like his face is like a tiger. It's really cool. But he did that after his goal. Yeah, I don't know if he's had that before. It's the first time I've seen it, but I thought that was pretty cool.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so scored a goal. Chelsea won. Easy opening win for them. His cards are up. Like you said, this isn't his first. This isn't even close to his first card. I think his first cards are back in like what
2016. So you guys 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
2016 is Select PSA 10 and
Select,
also sorry, Downers as well. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he's got the Select in the USA kit back in 2016. It's a PSA 10 selling for 545. Big time card. You know, those are big cards. The Prism EPL people like as well because it's his first Prism
cool. First Chelsea
card, especially with Chelsea as well. I'm more of a fan of the Kaboom from that set because he gets he kind of got animated into the actual kit versus here he's holding it. But either way. Oh, what's up, Oscar? Oscar in the house.
Oh, Oscar's in the chat. Hey, Oscar.
He says, Vin, what's up?
What's up, Oscar?
Okay, so that's what we got for today with the trenders in the newsletter. Like I said, if you all want to get that newsletter, I'm going to drop the link one more time here. You go to SlabStoxPro. You're watching it. You got the ticker up here, up in the top right. It says sign up. You click that. Here is your sign up. And then you click the link that I'm about to send in the chat right now. That creates a free account in SlabStoxPro, 100% free. You can go through and run head-to-heads on this type of stuff. Let me sign in really quick. And then I just want to show the head-to-head for something like the Tatis and the Judge.
And then I'll just add too, Aaron, like if anyone does have is subscribed to the newsletter already and like has like suggestions on like ways that we can make it better or like things to add, like definitely send them in because this is a lot different than what we started with and like always looking to innovate and trying new stuff. So
yeah,
for anyone that is subscribed already.
Vincent's done a great job of making that newsletter better every single day. It did start way different, and now I think at least that it's pretty informative. Keeps you up to date on the industry, on the market, and what's going down. And I just wanted to look really quick just to show you all the comparison tool. Here's the last 3 months of Tatis versus Judge's Topps Chrome PSA 10. Kind of funny, like what we were talking about. Both of the cards are super volatile, and you can actually see they move in super similar patterns.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like that's so crazy how close those are.
Yeah, both. I mean, the Judge isn't super high pop. I know the Tatis is, but yeah, there's just a ton of them out there, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't realize that they were that close. Wow.
Right.
That's interesting.
And Gus, does SlabStoxPro just provide sales data from eBay or other sources too? Right now, it is just eBay, but we do have the ability to add other sources, and we are looking into that to see, where else is going to have quality data on slabs in the sports car market. And we're going to do our best to start to innovate and add those sales to all the different charts and stuff as time goes on. SlabStoxPro, we did launch extremely recently, publicly, really as of the last week. So now y'all can go on to pro.slabstox.com/register. If you are listening on podcast right now, go to that URL and you can sign up for an account and you can use this head-to-head feature. You can build out your portfolio. This is my little mock portfolio. I do not own these cards, but I just want to add some cards because of the portfolio function. And here are some cards in my portfolio. Shows like, purchase amount, current value, how it's changed in percent base. You got watch list down here. You can add cards to your watch list so you can see when they come up for sale and everything. And it's a great free to use, 100% free, accessible platform for sports card market data. And like Vincent said, we're always trying to make it better. We've made it a lot, better, I think, in the last month and a half since we did some beta round. And we're going to be trying to improve as much as possible going forward too. It's just going to take a little bit of time, given that it's free and everything, but we're okay with that. We'd rather launch it now, give people access to this. And then, of course, we will try to, build that out as we go forward. SlabStoxPro hasn't been updating with Pokemon cards. I did try to submit a certain card for Pokemon. Creed, we do make updates to the database as days go by. There's certain cards that we just put in first before others. The backlog is pretty large, as there is a public free to use slab request form to get slabs into the website. We try our best to add slabs that immediately we'll bring the most data out that we think is going to help people. And of course, like I said, that doesn't mean that your slab that you requested isn't valuable. It just means that we put in some others first, and we'll try our best to get those involved as we go on. Pokemon is definitely going to be a part of this. It already is on here, some of the data, but we need to build it out further in the future, and we're going to do that as well. We're going to try to. All right, everyone. Vincent is going to be taking off here. That was his 25 minutes with us. Like I said, pro.slabstox.com/register. Start using SlabStox Pro and getting his newsletter quite soon. Vincent, thank you for joining, and we will talk to you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron. See you guys.
See ya. All right. Yes, Jordan, hey, DM me on Instagram at SlabStoxAaron. I can help you out. He said, can either of you or anyone in the chat point me in the direction of a good consignor? Oh, other than PWCC. I was going to help you at PWCC. I thought you meant someone like an employee at PWCC that can help you. Creed, awesome. Yeah, we'll try to get that Charizard in there. I'll talk to Vincent after. And yeah, Henry, literally Holland is a beast. Holland is balling out. I mean, he's been doing super, super well recently. Obviously, it's just his first game in the Bundesliga, but he also scored in that cup game the other week. His stuff is ticking up. If you look at the last month, from the low point, it was at $1,007 on an average, and now it's up to $1,226. His Bundesliga PSA 10. Great card to have. His stuff, he's amazing. I mean, he had 2 goals and 3 assists in his debut this season, and I'm a huge fan. He's awesome. He's a great player. I think he's going to be just super good long term. Best optic. All right, so that's a good transition point for me. So I'm going to have a little bit more time here. I am technically on vacation, but still doing this live stream because for the people, why not? But let me screen share back to the presentation. Let me see if I can get that back there. And then, what's up, Cody? Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for joining. Here we go. Really quick, I just want to shout out SlabStox Nate. He's on his honeymoon right now. He got married last weekend. He's going to be back this week. He is doing a return break. Like SlabStox Nate is returning to the breaks streams. He's actually going to execute the entire thing by himself with the hand of one of our teammates because I am not going to be at our studio. And he is breaking 2019 Topps Chrome Sapphire Baseball. We sold out box 1 in under 24 hours. Box 2 is currently listed on slabstox.com/shop that you can go on and buy some random cards in that box. There's 32 cards available in each box. Box 1, like I said, sold out in under 24 hours. Box 2 currently has 26 cards left in the box. I just dropped the link in the chat. Click that to go grab a couple. Please welcome Nate back. He's, had a good time on his honeymoon, I'm sure, but it's time for him to get back and start breaking some cards again. And this is one of the hottest baseball sets of the last 3 to 4 seasons. Vlad, Tatis, Eloy. You also have Pete Alonso in here, of course, Mike Trout cards and whatnot. The Tatis PSA 10 Sapphire is like a $3,000 card, the base, and the Vlad's up there too. Eloy's been doing super well recently. So really fun, cheap, affordable way to get in to try to get some big cards out of here. Jason, thank you for noticing that. Yes, they are. You can DM me at SlabStoxAaron on Instagram. I'll put my handle in here. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, or if you don't have Instagram, you can email me, aaron@slabstox.com. There you go. Okay, and now anyone who has a question, you can feel free to submit it live in the chat right now, and I will answer as many as I can. I do appreciate everyone joining today. We were live an hour earlier, so I'm sure people aren't used to this time for the live stream, but nice to get on here still on a Monday and do the live stream. And I saw a question here from Dubs Collectibles. Best optic basketball non-numbered parallel. That's a great question. So you got the blue velocity, you have the hollows, you have the pink hypers, you have the purples. Those are the 4 main ones. You also, I'm sure, have some other ones like fast break and whatnot, but those are the 4 main ones. Blue velocity is definitely one of the most sought after ones. I'd say hollow is the most sought after. It's like the silver for optic, or silver for prism, but it's an optic. But discounting that one because it's so obvious, I'd say the blue velocity in my mind is a great one, but one that's potentially more rare is indeed the purple, and the purple I know are pretty sought after too. I mean, pink hyper are good as well. There's a fly around me right now. That's the downside about sitting outside doing a live stream. Flies buzzing around with all these flowers and stuff. How's the weather in Wisconsin? It's very nice. I'm in the shade right now. I'd be sweating probably if I was in the sun, but it's beautiful out here right now. I'm feeling really good. It feels nice, and it's really nice out here. I'm just feeling perfect weather. Let's see here. I just got my Super Express order back from PSA. Let's just say they're definitely grading tougher. Yeah, I had a submission come back 2 months ago. That was really tough. Uh, that was a tough submission. I saw Oscar drop something in the chat earlier. I missed it though. I went to Chicago Fire game last night. Got my Robert Barich's warm up long sleeve and got my Chicago Fire shirt autographed by 7 players. Oscar, you're a beast, man. Good job. That's really cool. I opened Mosaic Euro recently and don't know which rookies are the best of the set. Which rookies do you think are good? So in that set, I know that I don't know, do they have Pedri in Spain? I think that they have a Spanish Pedri card. I know he has the La Liga Mosaic in the Barcelona kit, but they've got Ryan Gravenberch. They have Eduardo Camavinga. They have Bukayo Saka, which technically doesn't have the rookie logo on it. There's a couple others that are pretty good, just escaping my mind right now. I opened the set recently, but there's some good rookies in there. Oscar says, trust me, invest in young MLS players. There are a few that I really love in Chicago Fire. Oscar's on the MLS, maybe transferring out to Europe then. How do you see the NBA market looking for a couple of months? Football has seemed to heat up right now in August. From the end of July to August, I feel like that the same is going to happen with basketball. In the prospect world and maybe even in the LeBron Kobe world as well. But that the Hannes Wagner sale does not hurt at all. Thinking about all time greats, and obviously that card's a little different for certain reasons. But if that can sell for $6 million, other cards are going to continue to trend up in value too. I got a Jaw Optic Blue Velocity PSA 9 for 100. For 100, do you think it's a good buy? I don't know what current comps are on that card, but seems to be decent. I mean, if Ari PSA graded, John Morant parallel from Optic rookie seems pretty decent. Going to the Dells show this weekend, so actually gone in Hayward until Saturday. But yeah, I'll be shooting down to the Dells on the way back to Milwaukee. I'll be stopping at the Dells show, Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin. Hey, Aaron, what are your thoughts on F1? I see a lot of money being thrown around on these Sapphire cards. Is it hype? Will it die? A lot of people who have watched our videos over the last probably month and a half or so know that we like Formula One. My dad got me into it. It's a very fun market. I only really have one Formula One card myself, but we made a trade for one at the show and actually already sold it. It is a super hot market. People are paying a lot of money for the Sapphire cards right now. Will it die? I think in the short term, you might see some pullback just because so much money has rushed it so quickly with really low supply cards and not that many drivers to buy. But I think long term, it's still, mid to long term, it's a great outlook given the popularity of the sport, how it's growing in America, how it's growing overseas. The players or their drivers are really marketable themselves. I think it's a really fun sport to watch. I've gotten pretty into it. And yeah, I think mid to long term, it's a good set to look into. Where's Nate? Got a few questions about 2021 Bowman prospects. Hey, Henry, come to his stream on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. He'll be breaking 2019 Topps from Sapphire Baseball. Like I said, there's still some spots up in Sapphire Baseball on SlabStox.com/shop. If you come to his stream, he will definitely be talking baseball on that Friday live stream. So he'll have some answers for you for your 2021 Bowman prospect questions. One of those players is Luka Stojanovic. He is a beast for Chicago Fire. He scored his 3 goals in 3 games, and he's so fun to watch. Oscar tossing out some names. Luka Stojanovic. Go look him up if you're sitting at home. I have never heard of the guy, but Oscar might know. What do you think will be the catalyst to lead a rise in vintage basketball cards? That's a great question, Brett. Looking at the vintage market over the past couple, let me just screen share a card here. Actually, it's a perfect time to show some SlabStoxPro graphs because I do want to share this specific card. One second, I just gotta navigate to this quick. Okay. All right, we were looking at the 72 Julius Erving rookie PSA 8. So over the last 5 years, it's gained 500% value up to 3,885. But if we zoom back out to 1 year, you will very much so see that the vintage basketball market is really confusing as it's loading here because it goes through a lot of flatline periods, a lot of just boom periods, and then a lot of dips back in the flat line. That just seems to be how vintage cards work. I've always seen vintage cards as the the type of thing that people buy to sit on as a blue chip investment, so to speak, where they're expecting, 3 to 5% gains year over year, excited to have in their collection. But recently, with all the demand increases in the sports car market, you've seen a lot of these pops in the vintage cards at different times. You can see right here recently, there's one spike drop, another huge spike drop. And it makes it difficult to figure out what to do with these cards because you're asking me, what's the catalyst to lead a rise in vintage basketball cards? Well, over the last year, all it's been has just been hype demand periods where people see cards go up in price, they start buying, buying, buying. The cards go up too fast, and they start to fall in price really shortly after. And because these dudes are not doing anything else on the pitch, sorry, not on the pitch, anything else on the court for basketball, it's hard to speculate, where is that demand going to come from and when, which is why I think buying vintage basketball, you have to have in your mind that you're not going to expect these things to double overnight like it's already happened. I feel like I'd be leading you astray if I said, "Oh, you buy them for a demand pop." I don't think that that's the case. I think you buy them to hold them long term, see them rise in value. Um, 5% year over year. I don't think it's the type of cards that should be bought expecting demand pops because there's just not enough that can happen speculatively to make them rise like that. You might get a random demand increase out of nowhere. You can't predict it. And if you start to buy too high, like you've seen here in these last couple spikes, many people have lost money on those types of cards. What do you think about soccer? You think it will stay stable or drop any from the spike? Well, it already has dropped from the spike. I think that many of the main cards are down 50% over the last few months. We can go up here and look at 2018 Prism Mbappe PSA 10. I think a lot of it did fall from the spike. Like you look right here, and Mbappe PSA 10 Prism over the last 6 months is down 48%. That's $533 real drop in price. It got all the way down to 416, and now it's risen back up to around 575, which is a good rebound. If you look at the last, let's say, week, it's up 21%. The last month, it's up 2.5% higher from that dip of 416, though. I think it's on the rise a bit as we can see going into the season. I think a lot of it's going to depend on how these players perform this year. What type of things are they going to be able to add to their legacy, like an Mbappe, add a Champions League to his legacy, all that type of stuff. What's going on, Toa? How we doing? Sitting on a Pulisic EPL multicolor PS of 10, would you sit on it for later in the season or sell on the early goal hype? If you can make money now, Momo, I would not tell you not to. A lot of the sports car market is taking profit when it's there. You'll never go broke, taking a profit. And you can always buy something else with it. You can maybe buy a different Pulisic for cheaper and then buy also maybe Kai Havertz or Mason Mount, just two of the guys I like, as a Chelsea fan and collector. But yeah, that's what I would maybe look into doing. Living in the UK, it's so hard to find hidden gems and good cards for a good price. The hobby is just so small in the UK. Hey, we really want to build the hobby in the UK. I know of a lot of good people out there doing good things to help build the hobby in the UK. I think it will continue to do so as people who are really involved in the Premier League, really involved in football, worldwide, are going to start to get involved in soccer. I think it's going to build the hobby out in Europe a lot. Toa, thanks for keeping SlabStox free. Great for the hobby. Absolutely, man. That's what our goal is, to make sports cards accessible to everyone. And here we are with SlabStoxPro. We made it free. You can create an account right now, this second. I'm going to log out of my account here so I can show you with the link. If you go to the link I just put into the chat, you can create your free account now. It's 100% free to create a SlabStoxPro account, track the different data. In the sports car marketplace, we're constantly trying to innovate and make it better. We know that there's a long way to go to make it extremely powerful, but it is free, so it's going to take us a little bit longer to get there. But we're for the hobby. We're trying to build the hobby through goodwill and making this free and letting people enjoy data who might not have the means to subscribe to a platform or something like that. All right. Does anyone else look at this hobby and think that there's way too much big money investors that are in the space now for it to fade away or fizzle out? Yeah, Jordan, I'm not sure if the way you phrase that's how I would phrase it, but I do feel like that, there's so many people who are so active building businesses, building companies, building, full-time gigs out of this, that it seems like a lot of people are really here to stay. It seems like a lot of people care a lot, especially after the national. It feels like a lot of this sports car market is going to be carried by the people who are blazing trails for more people to join going forward. I'm a fan of what the hobby is doing. I'm a fan of how people are really making strides to bring new people in and be hobby enthusiasts and everything, and it's been fun. Topps Chrome Soccer versus Merlin. Which one are you picking? I'm picking both. I like Topps Chrome or Topps Merlin Chrome a ton, and we broke it this past Friday. Beautiful cards, beautiful parallels, nice autographs, nice numbered cards. But Topps Chrome Champions League, that's the main set. That's where you have Mbappe's best rookie card in his PSG kit, also with the 2017 Select. It's a staple product. I don't think that the design was up to par this year with what it's been in the years past, but I do think that it still matters, that it still is going to be one of, probably the biggest brand of soccer this year. And the numbered cards and their true hobby parallels is what's going to carry the product. Is F1 going to get any better than last year? Dynasty Chrome and Sapphire is already done. Now Paper is next. Can't see it being popular long term besides the first year. So UW Dogs, that's a great point. I mean, this year they killed it. Dynasty was awesome. Sapphire first year, awesome. Chrome first year, amazing. All beautiful sets. And now Paper is coming for it. So they're going to really hit the general market with that. Yeah, like the sets aren't going to be better than this year, but they don't have to be better than this year for them to make more sets and for popularity and interest to grow. We saw with soccer. Soccer, the last 3 seasons, the last 3 years of sets that they made were incredible. Not super highly printed, beautiful cards, beautiful sets, very, very important stuff coming out of soccer the last 3 years. This year, very important stuff. Huge rookie class, but many more sets. I would say the Topps Chrome set wasn't as nice as past years, but it had a way deeper rookie class, and I think that all matters a ton. They're going to print more supply. The cards, like the base cards and the refractors, the non-numbered stuff is going to be way less valuable than years past, but still going to matter and still going to be popular, and people are still going to buy it, and sales are still going to increase for the companies, so they'll keep making it. So I do think that this year, the first year of all the different Formula One, is going to be extremely popular and the best sets in the years to come. It doesn't mean that the ones in the years to come won't be good too and won't bring more people in and then make those first sets even more valuable. What up, Timo? Yes, it did. Hannes Wagner did just sell for a record, and we had that right at the beginning of the live stream. And yeah, Stadium Club is a nice set too. It's one of the last ones, coming out after all these other ones: Merlin, Topps Finest, Sapphire, Bundesliga, Sapphire, Topps Chrome, Finest Bundesliga. Yeah, no, Lewis Hamilton is older. He's not like Lando Norris. He's not like Max Verstappen. He has been dominating the sport for years, and he is 36-ish. Good year to buy Kawhi. Going for the Prism Rainbow. I don't know, man. I think that's up to you. He seems to be the type of guy that you need to be really confident in, because the Clippers, I don't know if they're going to win the title. They're going to have to put everything together. They just traded Bledsoe. They just traded Beverly and Rondo for Bledsoe. And being a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I wouldn't add Bledsoe to my playoff team. So, wow, that's a huge card. I'm about to send a Lewis Hamilton orange wave refractor at 25 to PSA. It's super clean. That's a huge card. If it's clean, it gets a 9 or 10. That's a massive card, Jordan. Especially if it's the number 1 or the variation. If it's one of the Grand Prix or stuff like that, it's still a nice card. If it's a number 1, that's huge. Yeah, UW Dogs. What scares me with the soccer, great rookie class, but 5 to 6 times the supply from years past. I totally agree with that, and I think that's why avoiding non-numbered is something very important, because there is so much production. If you can get those cards that are known, the print runs and the supply, that's where to be. And that's where I am too. That's what I'm looking at is the serial numbered cards from 2020, just to make it very clear that is where I'm, what I'm focusing on for 2020 Topps Chrome, Finest, Merlin, whatever other sets you want to say, Bundesliga. But that's because I believe in it. All right, looks like questions are winding down a bit here. If there's any other questions, just submit them really quickly here, because I'm going to hop off, get back going to the cabin. But it was very fun being here. I'll maybe take one more question if there's one more that comes in here. Don't forget, Friday, Nate's back. Nate's back for his Topps Chrome Sapphire break. Baseball. SlabStox.com/shop. There's still some spots left for box number 2. Box number 1 sold out in under 24 hours. People are really excited to have SlabStox Nate back in the house after his wedding. and Honeymoon. I'm excited for him to be back, and hopefully he hits some huge Tatis and Vlad. If he hits a Tatis or Vlad color, that'd be amazing. All right, two more here. Two more here. Oh, there's a few more, but I'll answer two. Aaron, what's better in football, Prism or Optic? Generally, Prism is a bigger brand, but personally, I think Optic looks better last year. I think the Prism photos were way too zoomed out. Optic looks really, really clean. Have a great vacation. Take care. Thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate it. Aaron, would you put the World Cup hype aside if you can double your profit in the current soccer card market? I'd say this: take a profit, buy other stuff. That's what I'd say. I'd say like if you made a smart call, sell it, buy some more soccer, diversify, buy some different players, whatever you need to do. But I'd say like never run to take a profit, especially even if the World Cup is a year away. Sell it and buy something else. Is 2021 baseball just an afterthought with a lackluster rookie class? Yes, I think so. There's some nice names: Brian Hayes, Joe Adell, Alec Baum, but it doesn't feel like any of these guys. I know I don't pay attention to baseball super much, so like Nate's going to be the guy that needs to talk on more than me. It just feels like this class is just it's just not bringing in a lot of people, into the market. Select 2012 through 2018 as a buy for basketball. BMAC, I agree. Super low print stuff, really beautiful looking sets. 2019 is still nice, but a little bit higher printed. 2020 is going to be printed like crazy, just like football was. All right, 45 minutes, 46 minutes, right around there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Couple last reminders. Pro.slabstox.com, 100% free data tool for you all to use. Hashtag for the hobby. And then also Nate's break is coming up on Friday, slabstox.com/shop to get on and grab some random cards in that Sapphire box. Big time box, huge cards, pretty affordable price. And I'm excited for Nate to be back ripping. But for now, everyone, thank you so much for joining the live stream. Thank you for listening on the podcast. If you're listening after, and I'll talk to you again next time.